Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the Team USA relay teams and their competition in the Olympics, and now we're going to talk about women's soccer. So one of my favorite sports to watch and play, so I'm very excited to end my last segment ever with the GSMC Sports Network talking about women's soccer. So the USWNT beat Mexico on Saturday. This was the penultimate match before the US head off to the Olympics for Paris. Before the US head to Paris for the Olympics. That's what I meant to say. There we go. It also was a special 25th anniversary match paying tribute to the World Cup-winning USWNT from 1999. As our final segment of today's show, we're going to dive into the game, everything about the game, basically. So let's begin with the starting lineups. Mexico's starting 11 was goalkeeper Estefany Barreras, defenders Jocelyn Mari Orgel, Greta Alejandra Espinoza, Reina Reyes, Karen Luna, Kimberly Rodriguez, and Rebecca Bernal, midfielders Maria Sanchez and Lisbeth Ovell, and strikers Scarlett Nefro-Camberos and Kayana Palacios. Remember, Mexico had a lot of confidence coming into this game since they beat the U.S. in February. I don't blame them for having a lot of confidence. I don't mean that to sound like a bad thing. It's good that they had a lot of confidence coming into this game. But, I wouldn't say I expected them to win, but I definitely thought this was going to be a very, very tough game for the U.S. The USWNT starting 11 was goalkeeper Alyssa Nair. Across the back line, we had Jenna Neiswanger, Tierna Davidson, Naomi Girma, Emily Fox, and then in the midfield, we had Sam Coffey, Lindsay Huron, Rose Lavelle, and then across the front line, we had Madeline Swamson, Sophia Smith, and Trinity Rodman. This is such a strong starting 11. This is Emmett Hayes' ideal starting 11, and I think the back four especially will get a lot of minutes moving forward. Now let's talk about how this match went down. The U.S. carried the play and outshot the visitors 17-3, but had to wait for the breakthrough until almost 20 minutes elapsed in the second half. Once earned, however, that advantage was never threatened as the USA eased to its third victory in 3 games under coach Emmett Hayes. Sophia Smith and midfielder Rose Lavelle tested Mexico goalkeeper Barreras in the opening moments and in the first 4 minutes. The Americans already had more shots on target than in the entire CAO. I literally cannot pronounce this correctly. So we're gonna say this. Spell it CONCACAF Gold Cup group stage match between the teams in February. Barreras made 4 saves in the first half, including a fantastic parry of Smith's short-range bid in the 22nd minute. Smith, who was flanked by forwards Trinity Rodman and Mallory Swamson, was especially effective at finding seams in the Mexican defense and putting 3 shots on frame, but could not find the back of the net in the first half. 29th ranked Mexico, meanwhile, mustered only 1 shot in the first half, that coming in the 40th minute, although its press posed some questions to the U.S. back four. Barreras won another goal against Smith in the 52nd minute, as the Americans kept their foot on the gas, coming out of the locker room in search of the opener. 11 minutes later, it finally came as Smith's tenacity was rewarded. Her 6th shot of the day and 5th on target lifted the U.S. to a 1-0 lead. Lavelle got the play started with a long pass out of the back that Rodman picked up on the right wing. She fed it centrally to Swanson, who took several touches before sliding the ball left to Smith. With confidence and composure, the Portland Thorns star cut the ball back to create a shooting lane that then beat Barreras inside the right post. It was epic. It was such a good goal. The goal was Smith's 20th for the USWNT and 5th this year, lifting her into a tie with Jaden Shaw atop the 2024 scoring list. Smith also now has 4 goals and 1 assist in her past 4 appearances, setting a new personal best with goal involvements in 4 consecutive games. She came close to getting her 2nd of the day, hitting the post after being played through by Swanson in the 73rd minute. Smith then made way for Lynn Williams in the 75th. Among Hayes' 6 second-half substitutes was Washington Spirit forward Coy Bethune, who I'll talk about more later, an Olympic alternate who made her USWNT debut when she replaced Swanson in the 82nd. Bethune nearly scored with one of her first national team touches, but sent a 22-yard shot just wide of the left post. Imagine scoring, like, you get your first touch with the USWNT and you almost score. Like, that's insane. Imagine that happened. That would make history for sure. But the USA saw the game without much difficulty and helped goalkeeper Lissanair get her 63rd career international shutout and 4th this year. She's now 9 behind 1999 World Cup hero Brianna Scurry, who sits second on the program's all-time chart. I want to talk about Olympic expectations for the U.S. based on this match. For me, this match proved that Ms. Hayes is working on things to strengthen the team before going to the Olympics. Competing against Mexico before Paris is a really good way for the U.S. to see what they need to work on and what they have to improve upon and what they have improved upon in recent matches, if that makes sense. This match helped build my confidence in the U.S. team. I mean, obviously I had a lot of confidence beforehand, but it definitely built more confidence. I think we're going to see incremental growth from this team, and I think that Coach Emma Hayes is actually a huge part of it. The tactical adjustments and player rotations implemented by Hayes have already shown positive results, reflecting her strategic awareness and ability to maximize the team's strengths. The defensive organization and offensive fluidity displayed during this match indicated that the team is adapting well to her coaching style. Also, the players' individual improvements and the team's overall cohesion suggest that they are peaking at the right time. As the team prepares for the Olympics, this match against Mexico serves as a critical benchmark. The challenges posed by a strong opponent like Mexico help identify areas that need fine-tuning, ensuring that the U.S. team enters the Olympic tournament well prepared. Hayes' experience and success at the club level are translating effectively to the national team, and her leadership is fostering a winning mentality among the players. That's what it seems like, in my opinion. Another thing I want to talk about with this match is if there was a player that could have changed the game if they were brought into the match. I can't really think of a player, not exactly like a player that I think if they were brought into the match would have changed the match, but someone who I wish we saw earlier was Jaden Shaw. Jaden Shaw came in the field in the 75th minute, and by that time, it was a bit difficult for her to make significant changes since the U.S. was already up a goal and there wasn't that much time left in the game. I wish Shaw came into the match earlier. She would have broken up lines differently and provided a different look on how the U.S. could build out the back, because Shaw is a player that can drop really deep in the defensive lines, pick up the ball, turn and run at defenders. She can also kick longer balls out of the back. So I would have liked to see Jaden Shaw come in earlier. But we also got to see Cora Bethune on the field, which was a huge win for us. And this was huge. She's my favorite NWSL rookie. She subbed for Mallory Swanson, which gave us a different look from the U.S. in formation. Because towards the end of this match, it looked like the U.S. was playing a 4-2-3-1, and those are moments where you could see Emma Hayes looking at how she could change the formation to create overload centrally and having more numbers in there so they could break the lines. Bethune's introduction added a fresh dynamic to the team's midfield, demonstrating Hayes' willingness to experiment with different players and tactical setups to optimize performance, which I very much admire by her coaching style. Like, a lot of coaches are hesitant to put in new players, and I feel like Emma Hayes just has confidence in our players, and that's something that is going to change the team's dynamic for sure. This match not only highlighted the areas for improvement, but also showcased the depth of talent and tactical versatility within the squad. It's clear that Coach Hayes is not just focused on immediate results, but is also laying the groundwork for sustainable success leading into the Olympics. The ability to adapt formations and integrate various player styles will be crucial as the team faces diverse opponents in Paris, and the performance against Mexico indicates a promising trajectory for the U.S. women's soccer team. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. So this is my last episode with the GSMC Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my last episode. I had a lot of fun making these shows and talking about women's sports with you all. You guys can follow me on LinkedIn, and I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys so much.